I knew something snapped in me the moment I saw Lorraine tossing my dad's tool set into a black trash bag like it was junk from the dollar store. 14 years I'd been married to Dana. 10 years back, we bought this modest 3-bedroom place just outside Fort Worth. It wasn't much at first. Patchy grass, ugly old carpet, electrical so bad I shocked myself twice. But we worked on it. I rewired it, replaced the floors, built out the garage. That house became more than a house. It was the one place where I felt solid, like I had control. Then came Lorraine. Dana's mom was supposed to stay with us for a few weeks to recover. That was 8 months ago, and she never left. She just slowly took over. First the guest room, then the fridge. She filled it with weird organic crap that smelled like feet and sour vinegar. Then she set up her yoga mat in my garage, called it her healing space. Worse than the space invasion was her mouth. Lorraine would talk crap about me in the next room, loud enough so I could hear. He's lazy. He's got no ambition. You call this cooking? And Dana? She'd just sit there and take it. She's just used to her ways, Dana would say. Don't be so sensitive. Not once, not one time did she have my back. Quick note. Before we start, how's your day going and where are you joining from? I bit my tongue more times than I can count. But when I saw Lorraine actually tossing out my tools, the ones my dad gave me before he passed, I lost it. I walked up to her, real slow, and said, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" She didn't even flinch, just kept digging through the tool chest. "These are rusty. You don't even use them." I looked at Dana, who was folding laundry like this was all normal. "She's throwing out my dad's tools," I said, waiting for her to jump in. Dana shrugged. "We need the space." Right then, something in me shut off, like a breaker switch inside my chest. I didn't yell, didn't slam a door. I just picked the bag up, pulled the tools out one by one, and set them back in the garage where they belonged. Then, I walked past both of them, without a word, grabbed my keys, and drove for an hour with the windows down. That was the night I decided I was done being the extra in my own house. Next morning, I came back to the house early, too early for anyone else to be up. I opened the garage, stared at the pile of tools I'd saved the night before, and just stood there in the silence. Dana's car was gone when I came back from work that evening. 10 minutes later, I saw her pull into the driveway, still sitting in the car with the windows rolled up, whispering into her phone like she was handling a hostage situation. When she came in, I said nothing. She gave me a weak smile and asked if I wanted leftover lentil stew. I told her I wasn't hungry and went out back. I didn't need stew. I needed answers. Over the next few days, the weird behavior turned into a full-on pattern. Every time I came home, she was either on the phone or fake texting with her mom in the kitchen, screen tilted away from me. I caught her scrolling property listings late at night. Zillow, Redfin, even Facebook Marketplace. She'd switch tabs when I got close. I didn't ask at first. I just watched. Then one night, she slipped. We were sitting in the living room, her folding laundry, me pretending to watch TV. Lorraine was upstairs doing whatever yoga pose from hell she does after dinner. Dana muttered, like to herself, "We might sell the house soon." I muted the TV. "We?" She froze, didn't even blink. Just sat there holding one of my shirts in her lap, like she forgot what a shirt was. "Oh," she said. "I meant, Mom and I were just talking. It's been hard for her here. You know, the stairs and everything." "The stairs?" I said. "We live in a one-story." She laughed, fake, sharp. "Right, I meant the front steps. Anyway, it's just talk, nothing serious." I nodded like I bought it, but I didn't buy a damn thing. That's when it all clicked. They were planning to sell the house, without me. But here's the thing they forgot. Dana had garbage credit when we bought the place. I paid the mortgage, every month. My name's the only one on the deed. So, the next morning, I called up Dave, my buddy from high school. He's been in real estate around Fort Worth for years, knows the market like his own birthday. I told him I was thinking of selling. Fast. He whistled low. "Right now, you'll get offers by the end of the week, maybe even full cash, no contingencies. Let's do it." Dave didn't ask questions. He knew me well enough not to. By the end of day 2, we had 2 offers. By day 5, a guy from Austin sent a full cash bid. No inspection, 7-day close. Didn't even want to see the place. Just wanted the zip code and square footage. I signed the paperwork, quietly. No fanfare. Did I feel bad about not telling Dana? Not even for a second. She was planning a coup with her yoga queen mother behind my back. I just beat her to the punch. The house, my house, was sold. Closing set for next week. and she had no clue. A couple days later, we rolled up to Dana's cousin Trisha's place for their annual family bash. Same setup every year. Rented canopy, folding tables sagging under crock pots, kids running wild. Her uncle's already half drunk by 4 in the afternoon. Dana loved these things. Always treated it like a campaign rally. Hugs, fake laughs, big smiles for everyone, like she was running for office. I played my part. Said hi, grabbed a paper plate, nursed a beer. I had the folder in my truck, the contract, the timeline, everything. It was all ready. I just needed the right moment. Took about an hour. Dana was holding court near the patio, glass of cheap wine in one hand, her other hand on Lorraine's shoulder, like they were some kind of team. She looked out across the crowd, probably 30 people, and clinked her glass with a fork. "Hey, everyone! Quick announcement!" The noise died down, just enough for her voice to carry. "We've decided to sell the house." Cheers went up. Her aunt whooped. Her cousin yelled something about market timing. People actually clapped. Then Lorraine stood up like she was accepting an Oscar. "It just makes sense," she said. "We've built a home together, and now I'll be staying with Dana and helping with the transition. Permanently." More clapping. Someone popped a soda can. I think Dana thought that was it, her big moment. That's when I raised my beer. "Actually," I said loud and clear, "I sold it yesterday." The words hung in the air like smoke. Nobody moved. One of the kids dropped a hot dog. Dana blinked. Then she laughed. "Oh, stop. He's joking." I walked over to the patio table, set my beer down, and pulled the signed contract from the folder I'd tucked behind my chair. "Not joking," I said, flipping it toward her. "Cash buyer, full offer, no inspection, closes in 5 days." Silence. Actual silence. Like movie-level silence. I could hear a fork hit a plate. Somewhere, a dog barked, but even it sounded confused. Dana's smile cracked. She picked up the papers, eyes darting left to right, flipping through like she could undo the signatures just by looking harder. Lorraine froze. Then her hand went to her chest like someone hit her with a taser. She stumbled back into the folding chair, knocking it over as she fell. Her sister screamed. Somebody dropped a tray of cornbread. Dana stepped over Lorraine like she didn't even see her and came straight at me. "What the hell is this? You did this behind my back?" I tilted my head. "Like you weren't about to?" She held up the contract with both hands. "This can't be real." "It's real. Dave handled it. Full paperwork filed. Title already in process." Lorraine groaned from the grass like she was dying. No one helped her up. Dana's cousin Trisha finally stepped in. "Do we need to call someone?" "No," Dana snapped, then turned back to me, her face flushed red, eyes wild. "You had no right." I stepped in closer. "I had every right. It's my house, my mortgage, my name on the deed. You and your mother planned to screw me over and forgot one little thing. You don't own a damn inch of it." She opened her mouth to say something, then closed it. Her mom finally managed to sit up, clutching her side like she'd been shot. "You heartless bastard!" Lorraine hissed. I looked down at her and smiled. "Guess you'll have to take your yoga mat somewhere else." I beat her home by 10 minutes, just enough time to crack open a beer, sit at the kitchen table, and wait. When Dana pulled into the driveway, she didn't even close the car door, stormed through the front like a cop with a warrant. "You blindsided me!" she shouted, her purse still swinging off her shoulder. I took a slow sip, let the silence hang. "Is that worse than you selling the house behind my back?" She pointed a shaking finger at me. "That's different." "Oh yeah? How?" "It was for Mom." I stood up, not yelling, just done. "I didn't marry your mom, Dana. I married a woman who used to have a damn spine." Her mouth opened, but nothing came out right away. Just a hard blink and a breath that turned into a scoff. "You're so heartless," she said, voice cracking now. "Do you even care what this does to us? I care that I've been steamrolled for 8 months straight. I care that you let your mother move into my house, trash my stuff, and treat me like a guest in my own life." She clenched her jaw, eyes welling up. "You know I can't just kick her out. She's my mother." "Yeah, and you two can go play roommate somewhere else. Go find an apartment, split rent, be grown-ups. You're really gonna make us leave." "You were already planning to leave. I'd just move faster." She looked around like suddenly realizing this wasn't hers anymore. The kitchen, the table, the hallway, all mine. Her eyes landed on the fridge, where our wedding photo was still magneted under a kid's art from her nephew. "I've got nowhere to go," she whispered. I stared right at her. "That's not my problem anymore." She stood there for another second, then turned and stomped up the stairs. Doors slammed hard enough to shake a picture off the wall in the hallway. I stayed in the kitchen, finished my beer, then cleaned up the broken frame off the floor. That night, I laid out on the couch with a pillow and a blanket. I didn't even bother turning the lights off. I just stared at the ceiling fan spinning slow, my arms crossed over my chest. She was upstairs packing God knows what, probably calling her sister, playing the victim in real time. I could hear drawers opening and closing, closet doors creaking. I didn't sleep. I just waited. By sunrise, I was done staring at the ceiling. I threw on a shirt, grabbed a folder of bank statements from the desk drawer, and drove straight to Calvin's office downtown. He'd been my buddy since high school, the one guy I could trust not to sugarcoat anything. Now he ran a small law firm in a strip plaza, wedged between a dentist and a vape shop. The kind of place that looked boring, but if you needed something handled quiet, Calvin was your guy. He leaned back in his chair when I walked in. "You look like hell." "Didn't sleep," I said. "I need a clean break. Fast. Dana's out." He nodded, tapped his pen against a legal pad. "All right, we'll get started on the separation paperwork. You two share any accounts?" "Couple, joint checking. She handles most of the small stuff. Bills, groceries, utilities." "All right," he said, typing. "Let's pull statements. I'll flag anything weird." Calvin was quiet for a few minutes, scrolling through his screen. Then his eyebrows drew together. "Hold up. What?" "There's a withdrawal every few weeks. Same round number, like 2,000 each time. Started about 6 months ago." My stomach dropped. "Where's it going?" He clicked through. "Different account, same bank, under her name. But there's a secondary name on it." He squinted closer. "Lorraine Miller." I laughed, short and ugly. "Her mother." Calvin looked up. "You serious?" "Oh, I'm dead serious. Keep digging." He pulled the records, printing page after page. "Looks like she's been funneling money from the joint account. Nothing huge each time, but consistent. Adds up to maybe 25 grand. 25? I repeated. "Jesus." "Yep, my guess. They were setting aside a little fund, for when they moved out." "Or when I did," I said. He didn't argue, just kept typing. "You said the house sale's already in process, right?" "Closes in 5 days." He nodded. "Then you're fine legally. The mortgage and deed are yours alone. But that joint account, we can lock it down before she cleans it out." I gripped the edge of his desk. My pulse was pounding so hard I could feel it in my jaw. I'd been careful my whole life. Every bill, every loan, every paycheck. But I'd trusted Dana to handle the little things. And that's where she got me. Little things. The groceries, the internet, the gas bill. All those years, I didn't bother checking, because it was easier to let her manage it. Now it turned out she'd been siphoning from me like a leech with a smile. Calvin printed the freeze order, slid it across the desk. "You want me to serve this today?" "Yeah," I said, signing. "Lock it down. Don't give her a dime." He watched me for a second. "You okay, man?" I looked at him, dead serious. "She wasn't just planning to replace me, Cal. She was robbing me blind." He nodded once. "Then let's make sure she never gets the chance again." That night, I got home before she did. Again. I didn't turn on the TV or make dinner. I just laid the documents on the kitchen table. Bank statements, transaction logs, account freeze paperwork. All of it. Then I sat down in the chair facing the door and waited. When Dana came in, she tossed her keys in the bowl like always. She didn't notice the folder right away. Took a few steps toward the kitchen, then froze. "What's this?" I crossed my arms. "You tell me." She gave a little fake laugh, the kind she used when she thought she could charm her way out of something. "What? Are we doing paperwork now?" "No games, Dana." She opened the folder. First page, a full list of withdrawals from our joint account. Second, the new account with her name and Lorraine's. Third, the current balance. By page 4, the color drained from her face. She looked up. "Okay, this looks worse than it is. Try me. It's just savings," she said, "for emergencies." "Really? Because it looks like you've been moving 2 grand every few weeks for half a year." She hesitated. We were just being smart. With the house and Mom and everything going on." "You mean with the house you tried to sell out from under me?" She slammed the folder shut. "I never tried to sell it. You announced it at a party, Dana. That was..." She stumbled, hands flying. "That was talk. You blindsided me before I could even explain anything." "Explain what?" I stepped forward. "That you and Lorraine were plotting to move out once I handed over my keys. That you were building your own exit plan while playing dumb about mine." She looked away. Her voice dropped. "It's not what you think." I leaned across the table, low and sharp. "Then explain it, right now. Look me in the eye and tell me you weren't planning to walk out the second you thought the house was yours." She said nothing. Exactly what I expected. I straightened up. I'm filing for separation. Her eyes shot up. What? You heard me. No, wait. We can fix this? She stepped forward, reaching for my arm like that would erase everything. I stepped back. You already did. You fixed it for yourself. Tears welled up in her eyes. Not the angry kind, the scared, desperate kind. Please, she said, let's just sit down, talk through this. We don't have to go nuclear. I looked at her. The woman I used to trust, used to believe, used to build a life with, and saw nothing left. You already did that when you opened a secret account with your mother. She didn't force me. I know. That's the worst part. She backed away, hands at her sides now, shaking. You don't understand. Mom's all I've got. No, I said. You had me, and you threw me out for her. The room fell quiet, just the low hum of the fridge filling the space between us. She picked up the folder like it might explode. Is this really it? It's been it for a while. I just didn't see it. She sniffed and stepped toward the hallway. I need to think. You do that. She walked off without another word, the papers still in her hands. I stood there in the kitchen, arms still folded, and didn't move until I heard the bedroom door shut upstairs. The next morning, Dana texted me twice. I ignored both. By noon, she called. I let it ring. Then around 5, she sent one last message. Can you just meet us? One time. At Mom's place. For closure. Closure. That word made me laugh out loud. Still, part of me needed to see it through. Tie it off. Make sure there was no way she'd twist this into something it wasn't. So, I drove over. Lorraine's new rental turned out to be a dim little 2-bedroom off the frontage road. Peeling paint, fake plants on the porch. The kind of place she used to snub on her way to Whole Foods. I knocked once. Dana opened the door like she'd been waiting for hours. Thanks for coming, she said softly. Her eyes were red, voice low, real pathetic. I stepped inside. Lorraine was on the couch, wrapped in a shawl like she was 80, a box of tissues on her lap, dabbing under her eyes like she was prepping for an audition. You've really hurt this family, she sniffled. You betrayed our trust. After all we sacrificed. I didn't sit. Cut the crap, I said. Let's get to it. Dana stood between us, hands up like she was playing referee. Look, I know this got out of hand, but we need to talk like adults. You're tearing the family apart. I didn't even blink. Instead, I pulled out my phone and tapped play. The audio started crackling through the speaker, a recording I'd made weeks back. Dana's voice clear as day. Once we sell, he'll have nothing. It's time we take control. Lorraine gasped. Hand over her mouth, fake shock written all over her face. Dana took a full step back, eyes wide. Where did you get that? Living room. You left your phone recording by accident. Or maybe fate just wanted me to hear it. Lorraine stood up, shaking. That's illegal. You can't record private conversations. Pretty sure betrayal doesn't come with privacy rights. I reached into my jacket and pulled out one more envelope. This, I said, tossing it onto the coffee table, is the title history of the house. Sole owner, me. This, I pointed at the second page, is the final sale document. Cash transfer, signed, final. Neither of you are owed a damn cent. Dana looked down at the folder, then back at me. You planned all this. You mean I responded to your plan? You tried to play me. You just didn't think I'd play back. Lorraine marched toward me, pointing her bony finger like I was a criminal in court. You bastard! You selfish, cold bastard! I smiled. Guess you'll have to yoga in a 1-bedroom now. She actually shrieked. Dana grabbed her arm and pulled her back. We needed that house, Dana said, quieter now. That was our future. No, I said. It was mine. You just tried to hijack it. Lorraine flopped back onto the couch like she'd been shot. You ruined everything. I headed toward the door. Closure enough for you? I said over my shoulder. Neither of them answered. Good. 3 days later, Dana's cousin Gavin tried to get involved. Big mistake. He sent some passive-aggressive letter talking about family rights and reconsideration of asset division. Then he had some low-rent lawyer call me, probably a buddy from his fantasy football league. Didn't matter. Legally, Gavin was toast. So was Dana. So was Lorraine. The house closed right on schedule. 7 days, just like Dave promised. I met the buyers out front, handed over the keys, gave them the garage code, and got in my truck without a word. Didn't even glance back at the porch. I moved into a small condo downtown. Not flashy. 2 bedrooms, concrete floors, balcony view of a parking lot. But it was quiet, clean, mine. Best part? Lorraine would never set foot in it. The first night there, I sat on the floor with a folding chair and a 6-pack, Nothing on the walls, no furniture yet. And for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. No hissing whispers in the kitchen, no tofu stew in the fridge, no yoga mats rolled across my garage, just silence. Dana ended up crashing with her sister across town. I heard that through the grapevine. Lorraine, too. Same bedroom, twin beds. Apparently, Dana's still playing the victim in every family group chat, crying about how he blindsided us, and Mom's health is declining. I blocked her number, didn't respond to a single message. No drama, no back and forth, just done. Some folks say revenge isn't worth it, that it eats you up, turns you into someone bitter. But I'll tell you something. Watching those two scramble after trying to rob me blind, watching Lorraine go from smug queen of my house to sharing a bathroom with her other daughter's toddlers, yeah, that was worth it. I sleep fine now. No pills, no stress, no second guesses. I don't regret a thing, not one.